Good morning students, welcome back to our innovative YouTube channel. My name is Dhara Kapadia and as you all know I am taking English, and in today's lecture we are going to know detailed information about chapter number 7's poem, poem number 7, The Trees, which is written by Edward Rich. He is an American writer and poet also. So the topic trees is all about the thing of the humanity, or I can say the mentality of people also. Here tree symbolize a female because trees are the thing which we can prescribe with our own life. We relate tree with the female also because as a tree were not free like women in previous years, in previous centuries, right? So without wasting time, we start our poem. We are looking forward to the poem, stanza number 1. The trees inside are moving out in the forest. So here forest is compared with the freedom of female. The forest that was empty all these days, right? These days the forest was empty because female were not free to do anything of her own choice, right? Where no bird could sit, no insects hide, no sun bury its feet in shadow. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. So in this stanza, here the trees symbolize the female and the forest symbolize the freedom of female, right? Because in forest there were so many trees. Without trees, forest is empty, looking very empty. So in previous years, previous century, if I am talking about the female, they didn't have permission, they didn't have freedom to do whatever her choice is. So here also the comparison between tree and female is very similar, because in the forest also there is no freedom. That is, in forest they have freedom to sit, the insects can hide themselves, even the shadow of the sun can move inside of the leaves also. So all these things shows that the freedom of trees also, because if we compare the trees inside our house and outside of the house, because there is a huge variation between these trees. In home only, if the trees are there, if we grow the trees, then they have a certain boundaries only. From that area only the trees can grow themselves. Compared to that tree and the forest trees, they have a huge area to spread themselves. The roots are very spreading themselves. So this is the variation between the forest areas and the home. So the first stanza is showing that only, that the trees are very meaningful, like female. Nowadays female are going to be educated, the girls are going to be educated, they know what they want to do, right? So all these things is about the stanza 1. Now we are looking forward to the stanza 2. All night the roots work, they designate themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. The leaves stain towards the glass, small twigs stiff with certain, long threads brought shuffling under the roof, like newly discharged parachutes, half threads moving in the clinical doors. So here the root, right, the tree's root work like the freedom's root, right, freedom of female root, because as deep the roots are there, the trees will grow more. So this is the thing only, that there is a comparison between the tree roots and the female roots. So this is the thing that the female wants to go outside from the veranda of their house. Veranda is the boundary for them. In previous years, if you see, that female didn't have freedom to go outside of their veranda. So in this poem, this poet want to compare these things, that if tree is also there, if we grow the trees inside the home, then there is a specific place only that the tree couldn't go outside from the veranda. That roots should be inside of the veranda only. So this suits with the comparison between trees and girls, trees and female. Even in this stanza, it shows that the trees also grow by their own, right? Even the animals have the freedom to put themselves on the tree. They grow like whatever they want. They take the sunlight, they take the water, whatever the enough stuff he wants to do that. So the whole idea is about the tree only. So we are moving forward the next stanza. I sit inside, doors open of the veranda, writing long letters. Here the poet is talking about himself only, in which I scarcely mention the departure of the forest, irons of the house. The night is fresh, the whole moon shines in a sky still open. The spell of leaves and leaching still reaches like a voice into the rooms. So here in this poem, the poet is telling that the poet is writing a big letters, and in these letters only the poet want to share his ideas that the trees didn't have that much freedom like the female, but from the writing these big letters he want to showcase that things that the poet want to share his own idea to the people, because the tree have the freedom to shine themselves even in the night also, in night mode also. The moonlight is there at the time only. If the shining of this moon and the trees, the shade of the trees are combining and show a beautiful scenario that time. Even if we are going in the forest in the evening time, it showcases that because of the trees, it is fully colorful. Lots of birds are there. Even the joyful nature is there. So that it's showcasing the freedom of the tree. Even in the moonlight also, the tree's shadow, the people also go out and chill out with themselves in these trees and under the tree. Even in the village also we can see that the farmers, animals, cow, pet dogs also they having the inches over there. So here this thing is also comparing that at the freedom for the tree, because of the forest area only they can do whatever they want to do, right? So looking forward to the next stanza and the last stanza. My head is full of whispers, which tomorrow will be silent. Right? Here the poet is talking about himself, because the whispering of his head is going much more, and which tomorrow will be silent. Because tomorrow will be silent because they showcasing the future of the trees, even the future of the female also. Listen, the glass is breaking. Here the glass is breaking is showing that the female wants to go out and they want to do whatever they want. Right? The trees are stumbling forward into the night. Winds rush to meet them. The moon is broken like a mirror. Its pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest oak. So in the night also it is showing that like a oak tree is very tall, right? So even in the midnight the moon is there, and because of the moon and because of the oak tree, the small pieces of the moon is also showcasing, and that time it is showing that like a oak tree, the small pieces of the moon is growing, it's a glittering, it's showing that the very famous thing also. Right, so it is showcasing the small part come outside from the oak tree, because the oak tree is very tall and it's spreading a huge amount of veils over there, and the valleys of the oak trees showing that the moon is looking like a very gleaming, very glittering thing. So here the whispering inside of the poet is showing that the tree is free to shine themselves, to showcase its own spirit, its own values in their life. Same thing happen in female also. They're showcasing their own ideas, they're showcasing their own goals of their life. Even it is very natural thing that female wants to showcase their own supernaturalistic, even their own potential to do whatever they want. So the whole poem is summarized that the tree is showcasing the female person, female part of their own feelings. They wants to show, they wants to deliver their own ideas, their own goals, their own thoughts, that how it is growing, right? Their own potential in the society, because society is very rigid, it's very timid. They have a very cheap mentality that freedom, that female freedom is not that much good. Because in previous years, if we can see that the female were only stopped for their veranda only, their home veranda only, because they were not free to deliver their own spirits. So the whole poem is the whole concept of this poem is based on the trees only, their freedom, even their potentiality to showcasing their own charm, their own beauty inside and outside also. So I hope you got enough idea about this poem, The Tree. In this poem, poet want to deliver his own idea about the trees, even the beauty of the tree, because the freedom of each and everything is necessary. Whether I am talking about the tree, whether I am talking about the animals, whether I am talking about the human beings, freedom is necessary for each and every person. If we are feeling free, then only we can grow more and more. So thank you everybody. I hope you have enough idea about this poem. Thank you so much.